I thought, even though the Sixers lost to the Knicks, man, I thought there was real progress there. He was dealing with injuries, multiple injuries, but he still averaged 33 points, 10.8 boards, 5.7 assists, 1.5 blocks, 1.2 steals, shooting nearly 60% true shooting percentage, man. What are some of your areas to improve for Joel Embiid?
Yeah, this is one that I think is kind of an interesting conversation here. The number one that I want to lead off with is lower usage rate. That through his career, 32% is the lowest that he's ever recorded for a season. He's been top 6 in usage rate every single season that he's been in the NBA. There's no longer a need for that, my guy. And I understand this is a two-way street here, that for starters, the Sixers have needed him to be this dominant number 1 MVP candidate. They now don't quite need you to be that. There are guys that you can have that responsibility. You can lean on the Paul Georges, the Tyrese Maxeys that are on this roster. And to be perfectly honest, like, I think that he's ready for that. Like, there's a point in every athlete's career where you're still kind of in your physical prime, but you hit like your mental prime, where you now get the game more. You understand how things work. You can think it. LeBron's a clear example of a guy who has hit that period and kind of beats people with his mind more so than his body at this point, even though he's still a freak athlete. I want Joel to fully kind of sit in that zone where he can now just think through the game and beat people with his mind in a way where it's not so hard for him. That, like, Daryl Morey did the hard work by putting this team together. It's now on Joel Embiid to lean on that and benefit from that. So scale back the usage is something that I'm really looking to see this year.
Yeah, amen. More defense, more rebounding. Don't throw your body around. Like, get to the 3rd week of April healthy, man. That's why I added get to that playoffs healthy. I said no more individual awards. Who cares about the regular season? Sorry, season ticket holders. I'm going to say it. I don't give a damn. My expectations, man, like, it's really not on him. For me, when it comes to Embiid, yeah, there's some late game issues for sure in Embiid's history, but will this be the season he doesn't get let down by his teammates? Like, it's been historic. In playoff games where, key players go from being a plus-minus, +10 or better, you look at LeBron, you look at Kevin Durant, you look at Jason Tatum, Giannis, Jokic, they're a combined 247-0.
Wow.
247-0. You look at Steph Curry, he's 68-2. Luka Doncic is 16-1. Even Devin Booker is 14-1. Do you know how many times this happened to Embiid and what his record is?
What's that?
19-5.
Wow. That's
the Sixers are 1-18 when Embiid is a -2 or worse. They don't win if he sucks. Like, if he's out there struggling, they do not win. And you see other teams like Tatum and the Celtics, like, when is that going to be us, man? When is that going to be us? My season expectation for Joel Embiid is more so on the chemistry and the identity of the team, but also on Nick Nurse.
Yeah, and by the way, I do see Nick shout me out in the comments here. What do you think of my grand plan here? Joel Embiid only plays games at the Wells Fargo Arena this year, or the Wells Fargo Center.
I'm down. I am 100. Like, I don't care. Like, yeah. Like, that's why they brought in Andre Drummond.
Get him a clean 42. Let Drummond take care of business on the road. I honestly think there's something to that. So for Sixers, this is, I think you can do a little bit of both. You can still make the people happy, protect him. We can let all the road people complain about that, but if you establish that from the season start, I do think that there's something to that potentially working.
What do you think would be a good final expectation before we wrap this thing up?
I like Marshawn's down here, all NBA defense team. I would love if he just committed to that side of the floor, because to Joel, like, there's so much on his plate that it's tough to critique him, but there's certainly those stretches of the game where he just kind of drifts through and isn't quite the rim protector that he's capable of. Now, he turns it up a notch when it matters in the playoffs and in the final stretches of games, to the point where we know that it's in his bag and I'm not critiquing him for it, but if he really focused on being one of the best defenders in the league, he can do it. So I would love to see that from him this year, and that goes into the same kind of conversation we're having about scaling back the usage on offense to allow for that to be possible.
Yeah, just like Tyrese Maxey. Like, I feel like Embiid's such a cerebral player that can pick up things so fast.
Yeah.
There's no doubt in my mind, like, if he wanted to, at least I think so. Maybe I'm crazy. Like, I'm pretty sure he could be, like, top 3 in rebounding and literally be the best defensive player. I mean, he already is, but he just gets crapped on by the NBA. I like it a lot. Is it crazy how he isn't all defense selection given how much I agree. It's crazy, Marshawn. I never understood it. I never understood the hate he gets on defense. It's night and day.
Yeah, I think honestly people get distracted by like this dude has led the league in scoring for 3 consecutive years at this point, and that just kind of overshadows the fact that he is a very elite defender, far beyond what I think he gets expectation to. And I think that Rudy Gobert point's like terrific there. Like I've seen Joel move his feet on the perimeter far better than pretty much every big man in the league. Like he, not as much now versus a little bit younger version of himself, but he's pretty special when he moves out on the perimeter like that. And you're right about kind of the cerebralness to it as well, that he thinks the game, he's able to call out stuff. You can hear him throughout a game kind of calling out different just plays that are being called, movements being had. So he does have it all if he wants to just leave it on the table this year.